Greet you all students of MA Final. This is paper 4th. The poem prescribed in your syllabus is very interesting. Goodbye Party for Miss Pushpa. And this is, very peculiar kind of poetry. And Nazim Askell, he has become popular for writing variety of topics and assortment of themes, and of course, unfoldment of ideas which marks the association of an individual with the society, and the society in which we have different kind of people. Now, this poem, it is a sort of valedictory speech, and yes, it is a farewell speech. Now, there are three specific purposes of writing this poem. First of all, it is a satire on the kind of people, so-called very westernized people, and mental slavery they have for the affectation, just to make pomp and show of their knowledge, and especially knowledge of English language. And these are, semi-educated people, half educated, we can say. Therefore, in this poem, it is a sort of satire, social satire on particular kind of class and typical kind of people. So it is essential to make it clear this point, that and Nazim Askell, he himself, he was professor of English in Bombay University, and he himself has that kind of circle of the people, and that's why he must be having better knowledge of that. And now this kind of say affectation, theme of affectation, in which people, they are fond of delivering the speeches, and especially the just to impress others, that oh, they are, and this is kind of fashion in the people. And it must be, students, mind you, it must be clear to you that this is the, in this valedictory address. Now, what is the other purpose? This is one of the important purpose. Now, second purpose is that as I have used the word semi-educated, so satire on the kind of people, I mean typical kind of that, type of class of the people rather. And second purpose is also to, satire on the kind of language they use. See, if you speak publicly, it is, it is associated with public speaking. At that time, you must be very particular about the choice of words, syntax. Then there must be, say, coherence, consistency, and there, it is called an art of oratory. So this is very important purpose of writing this poem. Nazim Askell himself was an eminent linguist, and yes, he has got mastery over English language, and it is reflected in his poems. Though, as I mentioned earlier, the point revolutionary spirit, Nazim Askell, he has, yet he has not made so much show of his language, artificial phraseology, and all this bombastic language. His language particularly used in the poems is quite simple, literary style that he prefers, but he has got mastery over English language. Therefore, he feels that he himself, one of his interviews, he himself has pointed out that you see the assortment of themes he has. And yeah, this is as I mentioned in the beginning, three specific purposes. So second purpose, to throw light on the art of oratory or inference we have. See the significance of public speaking as well. Students, you must be aware of this fact, that the kind of language, it should be very effective, very precise, precision of expression, clarity of expression should be there, and the consistency and all these points, clarity. Yes, there must everything, each and every point should be clear and concept, so that the obviously the purpose is to get your message across effectively, and the very purpose should be achieved. And now the third significant point when we are talking about this poetry is that, how to develop the kind of, say, affinity between the society and an individual. Now, how it will be developed? Through the message, through the way of expression, and this expression should be very effective. So we have, in a way, when we talk about this valedictory speech, we have some symbolical significance of that also. So we have these very humorous way. Obviously it is a satire on that. He's ridiculing in the kind of language, the speaker whose identity is not known, but the purpose is very, very expressive here. The purpose is as and suggestive. Title itself is suggestive as well at the time. Now it is a satire on the artificial craze for the notion of foreign. Yes, so this is the third significant purpose of that. See, you must have noticed it. There is a kind of mental slavery among the people, and if you happen to meet a foreigner or any, this is, it is essential to make it clear that here the purpose is, the poem is meant for particular type of people. It is meant not for all, so it must be clear to you, yes, students. And therefore happen to meet foreigner, or say if you speak in foreign language, they feel so-called elated, dignified. So this kind of, say, some kind of mental disease, in a way, in a very humorous way, and very amusing, interesting way, and Nissim Askel, he has expressed his views on that. So see the address now. So it must be clear, first purpose is satire on the kind of people, and the second important point is, yes, significance of, we have art of oratory also. Each and every person should have idea, the students, and especially for the purpose of students who are doing MA in English. So you must be clear. It must be clear to you. You must be very much particular about the use of language and syntax, and what is the subject. So language, it suits the subject, the content. So there is some kind of coordination, connectivity, relativity, that is very important here. So obviously the topic is it's a sort of a farewell speech and all that, but at the deeper level, students, mind you, this is the purpose also. Another important purpose we have, notion of foreign, and this is so-called westernized people. And Nissim Askel, he also lived there in Bombay, and he was, he was professor of English in Bombay University, and he was a visiting professor in Lead University also. So he has got different kind of experiences in his life. He stayed there. You must remember this, the point we studied in his another poem, Background Casually. Stayed there in London, and repeatedly he has pointed out the basement room base. So he has tremendous kind of experiences regarding this, the society around, the circle kind of people. So here the point is that the wrong use, so the syntax, wrong use of language is also the point here. Oddities, the word, mind you, is in the use of English language. So the kind of people, just for the affectation, just to make show of that. Now what is the purpose of that? Therefore, this is the purpose. Therefore, satirizing the kind of people that with the wrong use of English language at the same time, but they will definitely speak in this language only. So this is the purpose here. And incorrect use of, a present continuous here, you must notice. See, when the speaker start addressing the, friends or dear sister is departing for foreign in 2 or 3 days. See, you must mark the here, notice the wrong use of English language. See, when you want to get your message across effectively, at that time, the language, the kind of, see, the words, it must be absolutely adequate, appropriate. So here, what is incorrect? Incorrect use of language, wrong use of language is present continuous form. In say language, in public speaking especially, and even when you are having conversation with others, even in, yes, written language also, you avoid using present continuous tense. You can use, for instance, she leaves for, I mean, this is the correct use of word, rather than is departing for foreign in 2 3. Now she herself, in very humorous way, Nizam, as I have mentioned in the beginning, that he has covered a variety of topic, and one of the important purpose of this, deriving from commonplace, and yes, making them very interesting for the people around and for the readers. Yes. And so here we are meeting today 2 3, she herself is confused. Instead of 2 or 3, clarity of expression is precision, and clarity of expression is very important in public speaking. Now here I would like to quote an eminent linguist, students, mind you, Daniel Burke. Now Daniel Burke, he wrote many books on communication skills, and especially his mastery over interactive model of teaching and learning and all this. And he very boldly, he mentions the word stupid talk. So here I would like to focus that point also. So his famous author, what is the name of this eminent linguist and author? And Daniel Burke. And he in his stupid talk, in his words, he has called it stupid talk. And why? What is the reason behind it? Because unapproval tone, first of all, and wrong use of words, and confused state of mind in public speaking is absolutely, he has discarded it. Okay, so this is confused direction. Then how would you convey the message if you are confused? So it must be absolutely, precision of expression is very important. So, and it does not achieve your purpose of speaking. So at the same time, humor is also, satire and humor throughout in the poem. Now we are meeting now, then again we are meeting very funny and humorous way. Actually, she wants to say that they are, in a way, they assembled together. This is gathering, social gathering. So we are gathered and assembled. So meeting not in very informal use of word, but in public speaking, you generally avoid such kind of words. So here the speaker identity, it is not known, and it is clear that she is not educated properly. Typical kind of class of so-called westernized people, and she's full of affectation and pretension also, pretending, and she speaks without proper pauses and without proper use of language, and using present continuous throughout. So now what is important in speech? It must be very organized, consistent, and there must be coherence also. So this, and she's lacking all this. Okay, so it is unorganized absolutely, and no consistency in this speech. So consistency, obviously, very important point in oratory, and when you address somebody. So in this farewell speech, see, the title itself is, so what is the occasion? bidding farewell to Mrs. Pushpa, and she leaves for foreign country, and that's why this kind of function ceremony is organized. Now here, a satire on the westernized people, and this is again, the craze for that, for notion of foreign, and at the same time it signifies what? It indicates the mental vacuum in the mind of people. When again she points out, see, to wish her bon voyage, bidding farewell, just to say the best wishes, okay? Bidding farewell, why? Because she leaves for the foreigner. This is the occasion. Now here again we have this speech in which just to wish her the best luck, best of journey. Now the here again the first she speaks on the occasion. Now departing, she is departing. See the many times continuous form she has been using, and in public speaking, when you address somebody, it is absolutely avoided. Otherwise, it can never be effective expression. So departing, and now she leaves for foreign country 2 3. So this is no clarity of expression at all. And we are meeting again. It is informal use of language. Then she points out that this to wish her the best luck, the way of expression again, it sounds very humorous. So you're ridiculing the kind of language. Now then she comes to the point when she actually wants to appreciate, admire the qualities, virtues in Miss Pushpa. This is the main character throughout in this poem. Now I don't mean only external sweetness but internal sweetness. Now no need of saying external and internal. The kind nobility or friendliness she wants to describe, or very congeniality, all these points, the virtue, I mean nobility. But see that this is sweetness is quite in formal use of word here. So this Pushpa is smiling and is smiling even for no reason. So the idea underlying when you speak, the meaning is absolutely opposite. For no reason means actually she wants to admire her, but the way she expresses herself is very ridiculous because the meaning is absolutely changed. Rather, it is opposite meaning for no reason. And instead of admiring her, it sounds that she is criticizing. So she is feeling again, and abruptly she tends to sum up the point, and she switches over to another point. That's why, students, coherence is very important and consistency is very, very important. I mean, it should be in very organized manner. But Nizam Askil here, he throughout with his way of expression, it gives that very humorous way of writing. I mean, this is another kind of poem you read, for instance, Poet Lover, Bird Watcher, Night of Scorpion, and Background Casually. But this is absolutely different kind of poem, you must have noticed, in which the poet, his focus is on the use of language also on the one hand, and at the same time the kind of people, see the semi-educated, half-educated, but at the same time she is feeling, see the wrong use of word, and digression also. See, when you speak publicly, in public is speaking, it should be very concise and precise with the point-wise discussion so that it will be well organized. But she is feeling all of a sudden, and Miss Pushpa, she is coming again, and this is again wrong use of word. She's coming, she belongs to, she hails from certain place. I mean, Surat, whatever she has here, and Surat. Now, Balsar or Surat, again, she's getting confused. Instead of saying that she hails from Surat, or she belongs to this place. Now the incorrect use, absolutely incorrect. There is no logical connection also here. So she is coming from high family again. The way she wants to convey the here renowned advocate. I'm not remembering his students. Absolutely wrong use of language. I don't remember. Or she should have said that she belongs to this place, Surat or Balsar. Or see again the digression in which she is deviating from the main subject. And Surat, then she is reminded of herself in very funny manner or humorous manner. She starts saying of something else. Yes. And the point is here that when she's family members of uncle and all, in the past, she starts remembering her own experiences with the, her uncle and all that. I mean, there is no need of saying all that, because she's focusing on what she wants to describe the qualities of Miss Pushpa, and she wants to take, opportunity in this particular farewell speech regarding this matter, but deviating and start saying something else about her memories, all that cooking, and wife was cooking nicely, and in this way, and father was advocate either in this. So I mean, this deviation is there. So students, there are certain points for you to highlight, so that you will have better understanding that in this. So we have humorous way of depiction, Nizam Askell, the theme as I have just mentioned it, and then wrong use of the language. This is so hilarious way of expression, and in the state of confusion also all the time. She is in the state of confusion. And now, what happened actually when she points out that coming back to Miss Pushpa? Now, this is absolutely very wrong manner of saying anything, of expression. When coming back to the point, she's most popular lady with man, and also, I mean, now in generally when you address somebody at the time, there is no need of saying men and women. So in this particular way of expression, she wants to highlight the virtues of the Miss Pushpa, but rather than that, she starts saying something else. Now here the point is that she wants to highlight the qualities, but this at the same time she is reminded of something else. So this kind of digression throughout in the poem, and which is absolutely very, very ridiculous. And Nizam Askell in this poem, he wants to highlight these points, certain points. Yes, we'll continue.